I am an intelligence analysis and Italian major at James Madison University.
I'm also studying intelligence analysis, and my minor is political science at James Madison.
So, my focus of study is in multiple scenarios development, and that is important to the future of intelligence because it provides a decision maker and the analyst working on a project with multiple directions that the current topic could go in. And this helps making sure you have a robust and complete picture of what the potential scenarios are.
I would say my specialty is in the Middle East region. I hope to acquire more of a specialty in this when I pursue my master's, but I have been doing a lot of research in it now. And I feel like the Middle East region, politics and international relations in the Middle East is of high importance in terms of intelligence, just because of all of the tensions escalating with the West and countries formulating unprecedented alliances. And it's very new, and it's going to become very important for the US and the intelligence community as a whole.
Yeah, I would say in my focus of study in the multiple scenarios development, I do not think there's anything misunderstood, but in terms of the intelligence analysis as a study and as a major, a lot of people, when you tell them, they're like, oh, so you're gonna work for the CIA and you're gonna do spy stuff. But when you do an intelligence analysis education, and it's so much more than that. It's about research and writing and thinking and the whole entire process. So I would say that's definitely a misunderstanding when people hear about intelligence analysis.
I would say with the Middle East region, obviously it's very different and are what we're used to day to day life, like the Western perspective. And so when intelligence analysts do analyze things that are going on in that region, trying to figure out why certain actors are behaving the way that they are, taking a Western perspective is really difficult because we unintentionally take that perspective because it's what we grew up in. So it's obviously very difficult because it's an inherent thing that we all do, but just being able to understand more about the culture and their reasoning and how individuals and actors in the Middle East, why they act a certain way, because it's obviously different from how we grew up and how we think.
In my degree program, I would like to see a little less of theory. I think my program does a really good job at making sure it's a very application-based program, but of course there is some theory embedded in the core classes, and so personal preference, I like application over theory.
I happen to agree with that. I think sometimes, like Victoria said, our major does a really good job of the application portion, but I think sometimes we do spend some more time on the theory portion that could be more easily transferred over into the application realm, especially once we like get into a job. Some of the more philosophy and stuff that we're learning might not be as relevant, so paying more attention to things that are more applicable, I think would be of benefit.
I would definitely say I see a lot of value in programs that offer complete intelligence cycle projects where there is a decision maker, there's a topic that's handed down. You have to pick your methods, your approaches, your framework, and your reporting and getting feedback. I find those to be the times when I grow the most in a project. And so, like the one that Katie and I and our good friend Taylor did with the NATO Defense College, where we researched Russia and Iran and their drone interdependence and their manufacturing and such. So I would like to see more of those circling intelligence cycles.
I happen to agree with Victoria with that. I think along the lines of seeing projects go through the whole intelligence cycle, also looking at projects that have a little bit quicker of a turnaround. Some of the students who went through the program who are older than us, they have to do a lot of the critical and analytic thinking very fast in their occupation. And I think sometimes, even though we do have projects and assessments that have quick turnarounds, there are like opportunities to do some of these threat assessments in a quicker turnaround where we have to think quickly on our feet and be able to like develop an analysis in like a day or so, and that kind of stuff I think would be really beneficial. One of the biggest surprises that I would notice is just the reasoning methods that go behind some of the analysis that we do. I think going into the major as like a young person who didn't know much about intelligence analysis, I think it's really cool some of the processes our professors have developed in order for us to more critically think about certain topics and more analytically think without certain biases. So I think That has been really interesting, just being able to look at different scenarios or things in a different way that I probably wouldn't have without some of the reasoning methods that our professors have taught to us, and just being able to look at certain situations in different ways. So that probably was the most surprising to me because it was something really neat and obviously something applicable that we still are using in our projects today.
Yeah, I think the most surprising thing that I found was how much open source information there is that is easily accessible to students like Katie and I. There are like UN articles, like congressional hearings, congressional information, journals, and declassified information that is available to the public that if you do a thorough enough search, you will find a good amount of information that you wouldn't think you would be able to find. So that was really surprising to me and also super useful for projects.